Alright, so kule video I'm going to show you ukuthi yenziwa kanjani the question, especially looking at these type of questions lawa kanje ukuthi asolve kanjani. So they are very simple to solve so long as you understand what do you have to look for. Alright, so now let's look at the first question, or look at the statement which is given. So we have that BD is equal to 18 centimeters. So 18 centimeters the portion, 18 centimeters, and then this is OTC is 27, so this is going to be 27, and then AT is to TC is 2:1. So if okay, if AT is to 2C, this is 2K, then this is K. Okay, so that is on the sense which this is a distance of AT, this is a distance, this is a distance AT is about 2K, then distance T will K, because this is a ratio, so you cannot say AT or 2. No, there must be some values which are cancelled, so O K represent the factor they cancel again. Right, and then we're given that these are parallel, so we can use the intellect. Alright, so then again, write down the value of CE over ET. Okay, so we are looking at CE, this, over ET, which is this. Alright, so the simple answer, because you can see no line up parallel, so you have this parallel to that, so you can simply say nayo is over. Okay, now another way we analyze when you is to always say that la una 2K la una K. So since it's no longer parallel, la se P la uti 2P. Okay, funny yenze kanjalo. So now you can say CE or P or ED or 2P. Because of lava parallel, you can take the information and up. If law is to law is 1/2, now law is to law should be 1/2. Jalo, it should be like that. Okay, but then why am I using a different letter and not using the same letter? Is because using a different letter symbolizes what these might be different values. For example, UTC ngenzeka u4, u18 ngenzeka u8. So 4/8 is equals to 1/2. But la ngenzeka lo 3, and then ngenzeka lo 6. Again, 3/6 is 1/2. So since it's possible that they are not the same values, that's why we need to use different letters or represent lama lezinto zo2. I think local guy in the sense. If we answer, let me continue. So then obviously this is going to be 1/2. So see represent P 2P. Okay, show that D is the midpoint of BE. Now for D to be midpoint BE, what do we have to prove? Well, we have to prove that BE, we have to prove that BD is equals to, let me just find some space here. Okay, so what do we have to prove? We have to prove that BD, is equal to DE. So that's what D is by midpoint BE. We already know BD it's equals to 18 centimeters, meaning I have to show with namu DE 18 centimeters. And how am I going to do that? Now it's I can use the information nayo here. Can use this information. So I'm going to say DE over DC, because I have DC. So for a little time it's okay. Do you have DC? So then over DE over DC. So I'm going to say DE over DC. Now you can see DE 2P. This is where this thing helps. DE 2P. Okay, 2P kanji, right? Okay, and then DC yena was about 3P, was about 2P plus P. Okay, so 3P. So this will cancel that. You have 2/3. So meaning basically this is what you have. have that this is equal to that. But then we know that DC is equal to 27, so you can substitute 27 la and solve for DE and say DE is equal to 2 over 3 times 27. Okay, and then by punching that on your calculator, you should get that this is 18 centimeters. So this is 18 centimeters and low 18 centimeters, so it is a midpoint. D uyiyona a midpoint. So kwenzenze njani lento yokuthi uthi 2p and p iyasebenza because it can help you to recognize ukuthi DC yes, so 27, but we can say uzoba we can say is about 3p, or what you can say is to say since DC is equal to 3p, which is equal to 27, you can solve for p with p ubani, and you find that p is going to be 9 centimeters. And then since DE is equal to 2p, you can then take 9 uzomfaka la uphume 18 centimeters. That's part of what you can do. So now CTP and 7 summer letters when we do not know the exact numerical value. Now that we know our numerical values la, we can then say, oh okay, this is 27 as we were told, but then this is 18 centimeters, this is 9 centimeters. So we can have exact values. Yeah. Okay. Now let's solve for this one, which says if FD is equal to 2 centimeters, calculate the length of TE. How would we calculate the length of TE? Right. So this is how we calculate the length of TE. The length of TE we calculate anjan. Well, we are given this one. We're given this guy. Given this guy that this is 2 centimeters. Okay, so what will help is to look at this triangle. Isolated a triangle. Just use this triangle. So this is going to be parallel to that, and this is the midpoint theorem. If this is 2, this should be 4, since law elingana nalo. Alright, because of that these are parallel, and midpoint if low 2 low for about 4. So the answer is that TE should be equal to 4 centimeters because of midpoint theorem. So guys, make sure the midpoint theorem you understand that, because midpoint theorem is very important. Alright, so yeah, make sure it's midpoint theorem you understand that, because it is very important. Okay, now let's look at these questions. We want to say what? Calculate the value of area of triangle DADC over area of triangle ABC. Then how do you solve these questions? Okay, now the first thing you need to understand when you're solving these questions, maybe let me try and clear up his window here by removing which line? Okay, let me try and remove this line. Yeah, and try to remove this one. Okay, let me try and remove the details. I'll put in drawing. Okay, right. So you need to understand in solving these questions. Now, a statement as well which you must understand is that when two triangles have a common vectors, when two triangles have a common vertex, okay, corner to understand it, okay, no common height, common height, it's another thing on the issue. What will happen is the ratio of their areas will be, so the ratio of their areas. So if I don't understand the length before when there are questions, if you understand land, it's going to be a hard equation. Ratio of their areas will be equal to a ratio of their bases. Okay, so this is the important information you must make sure you know. When two triangles have a common vertex, a ratio of their areas will be equal to a ratio of their bases. So whenever you see something ratio of their areas, you know you must find the ratio of their bases to find the answer. Okay, find the ratio of their bases, but they must have a big common vertex or common height. How do you see common vertex? So now let's look at the first question. ADC, no ABC. Okay, I'm going to highlight Loma triangles. ADC, okay, ADC, this is the triangle ADC. Alright, Siemens are no Bani, Siemens are no triangular ABC. Okay, Siemens are no triangular ABC. So you can see ADC, ABC, so they have a common vertex A. ADC, ABC, so common vertex A, normal common height. Alright, so there can be a common height between these two triangles. So it's like a ratio of their bases. So base lomunye is DC. That is the base yellow triangular pink. And then a base yellow triangular A yellow is going to be BC. So DC over BC. That's how you're going to say it. Okay. You're going to say this is equal to BC, DC over BC. DC over BC. Ngayibhala njalo. Or ungaqala ngokubhala ukuthi half DC times H over half BC times H. Kahle kahle kodwa the main thing usuyifuna i ratio of their bases, because lokunye kusuke kuzo khanselana. Alright, so this is what you want. Then ubani ku DC u27, this is 27, and then BC ubani u27 plus 18. So 27 plus 18, then you punch your calculator to find that this is 3 over 5. So that's how you solve it. Okay, now again, common vertex or common height. Let's look at the second question now, which is triangular TEC. Okay, let me see if I can remove all these unnecessary, and then we deal with the smaller triangle. Okay, just remove this and draw again, and also remove that line. Okay, so now I'm talking about TEC, triangular TEC, which is the small triangle. Ile triangle lengikhuluma ngayo. So I want to divide it with the area triangular ABC. So TEC no ABC. Okay, no ABC. So okay, they have a common vertex C, but I only common vertex actually to C, because there is no common height between these two lines. Okay, there is no common height specifically on Ana. So if I go back to Lease Kalen and maybe try to show you common height between the two, so a common height band. A common height visible. So you can see the pink triangle and the yellow triangle bangaba no line here ongaba a common height for both of them. But if you look at this one, Nalega ABC, they won't have a common height, So you need to find another triangle abazoba ne common height nayo, which is this one. So you can see with benale they can have a common height somewhere here. So that also has the cancel and is it. So that's what you do. So we're going to say triangular TEC, okay, over triangular the one which I said, which is BTC. Okay, so the ratio form of bases, which is going to be EC over BC. Okay, EC is 9, this is 45 because it's 27 plus 18, which is going to give you 1 over 5. But then uzothi mnangibuzwe uTEC over ABC. So sefanele uthathe lena manje and say triangular BTC over ABC. Over ABC over triangular ABC. Now you want to find a common height between the two. So from the green one and the yellow one. So uzoyibona a common height between the two isovel and isovel here. Delete this and delete this. So you can see both of them can have a common height and common perpendicular height. Both the green one and the yellow one. Why lapaya? Well, it uzothi, but that line is not graph, is not residing inside the graph green. It doesn't matter. So almost it's like this. Okay, it's like this, it's like this. So this is the green one. This line is still a perpendicular height for this person, and it is also still a perpendicular height for the whole white one. So that's why they do have a common height if usuzoyibuka in this perspective. So what you are going to do, you are going to divide this base by that base. So these are the bases. So then you are dividing TC over AC. We are going to be saying TC over AC, where TC is going to be K over 3K, and it's a law. We said this is K, so the whole thing must be 3K. So we bear in terms of K. You now know this is 1 over 3. Conclude and conclude to triangular BTC is 1/3 of triangular ABC. Therefore you can do what? Therefore you can plug this la. Okay, you can plug this la with the answer as a whole. So triangular TEC over triangular BTC is equals to, we said this was 1 over 5, right? Said this was 1 over 5. But then you can substitute now. This law of 1 over 3 triangular ABC, 1 over 5. Then you can multiply by 1 over 3 both sides. And then you have that triangular TEC over triangular ABC is going to be 1 over 15. So what is the key? What are my questions? The first part, TEC also a common height in any triangle, then ileyo triangle is a common height nale triangle which is in question. Difficult question. So that's how you solve this. Please make sure you ask we are book again the video and try to understand it and show you. It is simple, but it takes time to understand.